Yeah, you can plug that in. Not the hitting button. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see if I can
A little
pull it up.
Okay. Oh, streaming.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Can't really see much. Who's next to Becca?
I think that's Mama Hudson.
Oh,
All
wait.
right. I don't know if anyone can see us. If you can see us, let us know in the comments if you can hear us. We're trying an experimental live stream where you can move around. You can either move your phone around or you can push around. Oh, we need to turn the volume down on that.
You want to mute it?
On the laptop. Yeah, you can mute it. Or is it here?
Oh, it's your phone.
Yeah.
That's a full there.
Okay, they can see and hear us.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So we're a little bit ahead of you. But you can look around and you can see each of us in the sauna. We're spread out all around the sauna.
Is there any stitching yours?
So it's live right now.
Well, thanks for joining us on this live stream. Like Christopher said, this is our first time, so kind of trying to figure everything out. So I guess we'll just start with first things first. We had taken a break over the summer of releasing and publishing podcasts episodes, and we had said that we were going to come back in August. But we're going to push that back another month. We're really enjoying our summer. And so we're actually going to get back onto releasing episodes in September. So stay tuned for that. I'll just give you a kind of a quick run through of the future episodes coming up. So I don't have them memorized, so just give me a second while I pull them up. So the first episode that we'll be releasing in September is called Sauna on the Island. So that'll be adventures of a new experience that we've had. It was an island that we stayed on by ourselves. So that was really fun. Then after that it'll be a 3-part series of us returning to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We had gone in 2015 and really liked it. So then back in 2016, we decided to go back and we decided to go for 3 weeks. So we stayed at 3 different places. We had 3 different saunas that we used, and we had so many adventures. And then we actually had family come and join us one of the weeks as well. So that'll be fun to hear kind of their thoughts on how that was for them.
And I think that was their first time in the UP, right?
Yeah, it was. Yep. And then the next episode will be about the wood burning sauna Facebook group and kind of its story and how it was a part of our sauna trail. The next episode after that will be with our first sauna meeting with a stranger off of the internet. So it's with Jeff Heisek, and he invites us to his place, and it's just going to be a really fun story of how that came about, and we survived meeting an internet stranger. So
yeah, and I haven't reached out to Jeff yet to invite him on the show. So if he can make it, that'll be lots of fun. So heads up, Jeff, I'll be reaching out to you.
Then the next episode will actually, it's actually two trips, but we're going to just combine them into one episode because it's kind of connected. It'll feature Avanto, which for those of you who don't know is actually, I think it's Finnish word for hole in the ice.
Yeah.
So we had read about it, we had heard about it, and we really wanted to experience it. So we were able to go up to Camp du Nord in Ely, Minnesota, and they had Avanto weekend. So we went up there for that and got to jump in a hole in the ice in the lake. That was quite the experience. And then we also stayed at a place that was completely off the grid. We had to be snowmobiled to the place. He dropped us off, and then he snowmobiled back out, and we were just left there to our own devices for a weekend. So you'll get to hear about some injuries that we had. That was, yeah. I won't give you too many spoilers, so stay tuned because there's a lot in that episode as well.
Yeah, that was the trip of accidents.
Yeah. Yep, it sure was. Then Christopher goes out east with his brother Greg, and so that'll be an episode with just Christopher and maybe Greg if he joins us, but I think you guys try a couple different saunas on that trip, and then we'll get to hear about those experiences. I think it's your first public.
Yeah, my first public sauna, and if I remember correctly, I think it was also in the nude. So that was a little awkward, but I went out to the East Coast for doing some business stuff. We were buying a vehicle, and while I was out there, I was like, I might as well try some saunas while we're out there.
And then the next episode, one after that, I'm really excited about because we actually talk about our first sauna that we owned, and it was a barrel sauna. So you'll hear that story of how that transpired, and just a little teaser, it actually wasn't in our backyard, it was actually in our friend's backyard. But we will explain all of that in that episode. Then after that one, Christopher goes to use a demo sauna up in the cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, with our friend Luke, and he meets up with Scott up there. So you're going to hear about that, and maybe if we can get Luke, because I think that's the first time Luke traveled to use a sauna. And then I think the 10th episode, so this is now I think the last episode of that I'll talk about is after we stayed at Camp du Nord in the spring, later on in the summer, Emily from Camp du Nord contacted us about doing a sauna enthusiast weekend at Camp du Nord. And so she invited Christopher and I out to kind of speak at it, but then she consulted we worked together to kind of plan out what that weekend would look like. And so we got to see a historical sauna as well as use a public one. And for me, that was my first public sauna experience was on this trip. So that had a lot of fun adventures. And that was just a trip that just Christopher and I went. The kids didn't go on that one. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to share about what I learned and experienced in that public sauna in Ely.
Yep. That was also an interesting experience. But by this point, I was more used to public sauna in the nude. So
I was not.
Oh yeah, that's your first time.
It was my first time. So that's kind of what we've got coming ahead. In the very near future, Christopher and I are actually heading out and going up to Duluth.
This week. Tomorrow.
We're heading up to FinFest in Duluth, and we'll be part of participating in their sauna seminar day, which is on Thursday. Christopher is going to be presenting and sharing about sauna. And then I will actually be interviewing my mom and having her share her story that as a Cambodian immigrant, Cambodian refugee who discovers Finnish sauna and how that has affected her, and getting to share her story of how, well, I won't give out too many spoilers. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. So that's what we're going to be doing here in the near future.
Yeah, and if you guys have any Q&A, make some interesting, good questions, you can put them in the comments, and we'll get to those also.
Yeah. I'll just keep rambling until there's some good questions, and then we might have some discussions here with the kids too. But in September, we will actually also be going up with the Rice family, Christopher side of the family. I think we've infected most of them with sauna at this point. There's only a few that are a little bit more cautious or hesitant to try it, but I think most of everybody is really enjoying sauna. So we usually do a family vacation with the Rices, and it's usually we go up north, we go to a place with a lake, and the last time that we went up, they actually rented a mobile sauna. Well, this time they found a rental that actually has, is it electric? I don't even remember. I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure it's electric.
Yeah.
I think it's a what stove is that? What heater is it?
I don't know. I never saw
Elo?
the pictures.
I don't know.
No, it's not an Elo.
Yeah, I never saw the
It's
pictures.
an Iki. I think it's a big Iki, which is a really nice heater.
Yeah, so I'm excited to try that out. And then it's attached to the back of the house, and then it's on a lake. So, and the lake looks pretty nice. So we're excited for that to try another new sauna, another new experience. And I think you and I have used an Iki stove.
Just wood burning.
Just the wood burning one.
Two wood burnings.
Okay.
Our neighbors, Calvin and Emily, Calvin built a mobile, really nice one, and he put an Iki in there, and so I've got to use that one a few times now, and then our friend down in Texas, he built one. Our sauna friend down in Texas, he built one.
Oh,
I think his name's Brian, right?
Yep.
And he has an Iki, and so we got to use that one.
And those are pretty nice stoves. So it'll be a new experience to try an electric one. So that'll be fun.
And it looks like we have a question from Flying Fin 2007. Any future sauna events at Camp du Nord?
Oh, that's a good question.
I haven't heard of any. We should reach out to Emily to see if there are any. I know they did the Sauna Enthusiast Weekend for a couple years, and I haven't seen any since. I don't know if that stopped before COVID or if maybe even before then. But they did build a new sauna there that I haven't got a chance to use.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember if it's electric or wood burning or both. So they've got the old one that's right on the lake, and then the new one that they built, which I don't think it's very far from the lake also. And it's a great setting.
Yeah, we should reach out to them and see if they're doing anything. The Avanto weekend, I mean, we'll get into it in the episode, was fun. I did really enjoy that. I thought they did a good job with their setup there. And their sauna is amazing, so. So that's kind of what we've been up to, and kind of our plans coming up. If we don't have any more questions, we'll kind of just move on, I think, to talking about a few different things, kind of just some ideas that we had to throw out just to kind of talk about stuff is right now we're in our sauna, obviously. We're on the platform of our wood burning sauna outside in our backyard. It's pretty warm, but not that warm. It's like, it says 90 degrees in there, but I don't think it's 90
I don't
degrees.
think it's 90.
But we have been, so we have an apartment that's attached to the back of our garage. It has a separate entrance. It has its own bathroom, laundry, and kitchen. And a few weeks ago, I was trying to fix the bathroom, shower, and as house projects go, it was not an easy fix, and now it's turning into something that's more. And so Christopher and I were like, should we just tear out the shower and just put in an electric sauna in there? Because it's a pretty good sized bathroom. So we were kind of talking about, well, if we do an indoor electric sauna, I've always liked that idea because I like the idea of, I think we had a friend who said that sometimes he'll sauna like 1 or 2 rounds like before he goes to work, and it's really nice. You know, I can't really do an easy 1 or 2 rounds in a wood burning sauna. So we also have in our main house a large like linen closet, and it actually shares a wall with our bathroom. And so we've talked about maybe doing indoor electric in the main house. And so we're trying to see if that's something that we want to do, because I do like the idea of something easy to heat that doesn't require the chopping of the wood and the starting of the fire and the tending, even though that is a wonderful process and I don't want to get rid of it. I would never get rid of wood burning to replace, and replace it only with an electric. But I think there's something nice about that. Like, my mom has an electric, and I can turn it on with my app on my phone, and it's quite nice. And, if I just want to do like a round or 2 after work or before work, I think I would like that. So I don't know if anybody listening, if you have like an indoor electric one that you find.
Yeah, Flying Fin 2007. I can't tell, is that Shane? Because Shane is the friend that told us about the electric sauna in the morning. So Shane says electric sauna in the morning is nice. And then Martha also said Camp Lati, a different camp up in the UP, that she asked if we'd heard that they got a new sauna or they revamped the inside. Any plans to go there? I hadn't heard. Camp Lati. Yeah, Camp Lati is, we haven't talked about it in the podcast yet, but that was one of our sauna finds.
Except last time the beach was all rocky or something, right? Well, it depends on the year. I think it changes.
Yeah, I don't remember being too bad.
No, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, so Camp Lati is a camp in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we'll talk about that in a future episode, but their sauna is rather large, so I hadn't heard that they redid it.
Yeah, and not many people know about that sauna outside the Finnish community, so don't tell anyone. This isn't going on the internet, is it?
or they're pulling our leg trying to get us excited.
But there was one time, we'll talk about this in our episode, but there was one time when we were there, and there were several Finnish families that were using it, and so a bunch of blonde-headed Finnish kids all around.
Yeah.
And I told our daughters, I was like, they're having like a young girls sauna session because they had so many kids. And I was like, you should go use it with them. So they went and used the sauna with them.
That was pretty funny.
What'd you girls think of that experience?
I enjoyed it. It was interesting. I hadn't really. There were a lot of kids. Yeah.
What was that?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, our camera just beeped.
Well, if our camera dies, it's because of the heat.
Yep.
So if we lose visual, that might be the end of our live stream.
I'll let you know.